Hey, let me get my glasses cleaned up real quick. Ooh, why are they such a mess? I don't see my little spray. All right. Happy Well Diva Wednesday. I'm back. Hello, Georgette. Oh, I don't even have my glasses on, but I think that says Georgette. Hey, yes, it does. How are you, honey? Yes, I am back. I was gone on a little bit of a vacation. Um, I'm an empty nester now. I'm talking into this mic. This mic still ain't hooked up, but I like it. Hey, whoever's here, I see there's a few faces or a few numbers, names. I don't see any names, but I see a number. So, um, hi T, I see you. So, yeah, I'm an empty nester now. I think we may have talked about that before. I was taking my daughter away to college and having to adjust to not having her here. Hi, Duchess. And as you can imagine, she's a huge part of my life. We're very, very close. She is a teenager, and I am a mom, so we have our, our issues. But I'm happy to say that we had a good relationship. We had like she gone for good. We have a pretty good relationship. Always working on it. Always room for improvement. But I was just determined to make sure that I had a good relationship with her. And so when she left, I just missed her and I was like walking around here crying and just not doing too good. So, hi Facebook user. So, so I planned a trip to Mexico and just to get my mind, just to get out of the house cuz like I work from home and like days will go by and I won't leave the house. And so, also to get out of the house and to just get a fresh start. So, y'all know travel is truly therapy. It really is. And it felt good to get away and to get pampered. And we had a butler, and he wasn't like a real butler, though. Like they called him a butler, and he was like, but I end at 7 p.m. I was like, no, no, you're supposed to bring me warm cookies and milk at 2 a.m. if that's what I want. But anyway, they called it butler, so whatever. um, so hi Karen, how you doing? And I see two Facebook users. Hello. And so that was in Cabo. Some of y'all, Karen, I know you went with us to Cabo before. I've taken a group to Cabo a couple times. If you have not been to Cabo, it's really nice. But what I will say is, I feel like everywhere I go in Mexico, I swear it looks the same. Like I haven't been everywhere, so of course, I've only been to Cabo. Hi Jerry, how are you? I've only been to Cabo. I've been to Puerto Vallarta, and I've been to Tulum and Playa del Carmen, Cancun. I think those are real close to each other. And what's the other one? Cozumel. And yeah, I don't really see the difference to be perfectly honest. Like there's like a really beautiful beach and then there's just, the downtown area with the little flags over top and all the little shops. The food is delicious in all of them. So if anybody knows like a part of Mexico that you've been to that you feel like, oh yeah, you got to go to this part, it's different from all those others, let me know. But Cabo is nice. When you live in California, it's not so hard to get to as Cancun. That's a much longer process to get there. So and beaches are fabulous, but the weather in September, where y'all know with the storm going on, we couldn't go on the beach, at least where we were. I think if you go to a different part, you might be able to get in the water. So but it was cool because all I wanted to do was chill, lay around the pool. It was just great. So let me stop talking about that. But anyway, so just getting back on track with wellness and fitness, and ending the quarter, the fourth, the end of the year, ending the year strong. Having a strong fourth quarter is what I wanted to talk about today because I know I'm not the only one. I started out this year, oh, this will be my best year. I'm going to do this and do that. And I've done some of the things that I said I was going to do, but I just want to make sure that I don't, slack off and not end the year strong. Like you guys know, if you've been following, you know that I had the sciatica flare up in April and ended up in a wheelchair, and wasn't able to, fully enjoy myself in Greece. Although we did end the trip really nicely. Those of you who were there, you know how we did in the end. We had a good time. We had a great time, and I made a commitment to take care of my physical body by being more mobile because I can be a couch potato, I can be a bed potato. I eat great, but that fitness part, that moving part it's just never been me. But in April when we were in Greece, I committed to doing better, and I have been doing better. I think it was June when I was finally able to start walking again for a bit of a distance, and I documented that on Instagram. And then in July, and I kept up a little bit, and then by August, I started traveling again, and I started sitting down again. So I just want to make sure October, November, December, I could just be really consistent with what I say I want to do for myself. And if anybody needs to reset or just wants to continue going, let's get it going. Let's start. I said another thing. I said I was going to do a podcast, y'all. I didn't do it. I need to just really pour out because I have a lot to share and I keep a lot to myself. So, starting on the first, which I think is Saturday, I'm going to start just giving you guys what I'm going to call Well Diva Wisdom, I guess is what I'll call it, where I'll just share some info or some inspiration or whatever. And I think I'll do it on Instagram because that's just like really quick and easy for me to get to. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram at Well Diva or Instagram.com/Well Diva. So make sure you are following me on there because I'm gonna start posting, just like I said, just Well Diva wisdom about wellness, about taking care of ourselves. Okay. So if you want to do something together, we can, like where we check in and share what we're doing. We can do that in the Black Woman's Guide to Detoxing group. Like I got so many groups, but I do have that group here on Facebook, or we can check in on Instagram. Either one works for me. So let me know if y'all want to do something like that. So what I want to do is cover the different areas, touch on the areas. First, your physical body, and I want to talk about what we eat. Okay. Now, y'all know y'all can do better. We all know there's something that we can do better, right, with our diet. For me, I ended up, if you don't know my story, I became a vegetarian back around, I think it was 83. I think it was like 83. And it was really hard back then because I was living in the South. And like if I wanted to go out to eat and I'd say, I'm vegetarian, what do you have? They would look at me like I was headless or something, like, what the heck she talking about? And I never forget, I went to Ruby Tuesday one time. I used to love to go there and get their vegetarian lasagna. And child, one time I asked for the vegetarian lasagna and they brought me the meat lasagna. And I had, cut into it and I don't know if I tasted it or not, but I still remember it. And it was like maybe 84, 85. So, it was pretty devastating. You know what? It wasn't 83, 84. Hold on. I got it wrong because that's when I graduated high school. This was near near when I was finishing college. So that would have been 87, 88, somewhere around then was when I became vegetarian. So anyway, this was like 80, 89, 90. I was at Ruby Tuesday and that happened. And back then, like if you wanted to get a vegetarian option, they want to give you salad. Surprisingly, there are still places to this day that will just give you a salad. Like there isn't so many more things that a person who's vegetarian can eat. But the other thing, I changed my diet to and let me clarify. I stopped being vegetarian because it was just so freaking difficult. I eventually started eating seafood and chicken again. So, but now I've been following a vegan, plant-based vegan diet since I think 2019, 2020, 2020. So over the years, I had been kind of back and forth with chicken and seafood, but I never did go back to beef or pork or goat or lamb or whatever since the 80s. But anyway, I started following a gluten-free diet. Um, it was like several years ago. And I wanted to definitely mention that because every time I share my story about why I went gluten free, there's always somebody listening that says, "Oh, that sounds like me." What happened was I was having like indigestion and heartburn and um, I was bloated and I was starting to have problems with my memory. And then I was starting to have problems putting sentences together. Like I could not get the words together. So I started getting quiet because I'm a talker and the words weren't flowing fast enough. So I started to think, I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I took gluten out of my diet for 3 weeks and all of that reversed just like that. So that's when I put the gluten back in and I noticed the heartburn and everything started coming back. Went back and forth with that for a while and I realized, yes, I have a problem with gluten. So that's why I went gluten free. Hi, Jackie. How you doing? Hi, Monique. So since then, I've realized I can tolerate sourdough bread, and I can eat Ezekiel bread, but anything else that's made with wheat, I can't eat it or I can have a very small amount. Like, say I had some pancakes. They're probably going to produce a bunch of mucus and really thick mucus where I'm coughing at night when I try to go to bed. Um, I may be able to eat something like, say, I don't know, something that's got some breadcrumbs on it or something, like a salad with breadcrumbs. I could probably eat that, but like a stack of pancakes, unless they're gluten free, is going to be a problem. So I just wanted to share that because, like I said, there's a lot of people who need to stop eating gluten and don't realize it. And I want you to know that you can do it. I didn't think I could do it. I remember when I first started learning about gluten intolerance. I think that was like around 2005 when I first started learning about it as a dietitian. And I was like, oh God, that's horrible. I could never do that. I had a cupcake business. I was selling cakes and cupcakes. And I was like, ain't no way I could stop eating this. But I found out I could stop eating it. And then people will ask, well, what do you eat if you don't eat gluten? Gluten is not everything. So, like, I eat everything except for bread, things that are bread and breaded. That's what gluten is. Pasta. So when I say bread, no, I did not get that diagnosed by a doctor because this was in, hold on, I'm tell you when it was, if I can remember. This was about 7 to 10 years ago, somewhere in there. It's not until more recently that gluten intolerance is even being considered real. Okay. So for a doctor to diagnose me, I would have to start eating gluten, and then they would test me for gluten for celiac disease, which I never said I had celiac, and I don't think I have celiac. Intolerance means I can't tolerate it. Okay. I'm the only one that can tell you whether or not I can tolerate it. So really, that's not something they can diagnose me with. If I take something out of my diet and I feel good, and then I put it back in my diet and I feel sick, and I do it back and forth again and again, that's basically how a doctor is going to diagnose you, because they're going to, have you chart that, and you have to report that yourself. So I was able to do that for myself, especially as a dietitian. I know that's how it's done. And you too can do that if you have a concern about anything in your diet. That's one of the things that we do when we do a detox together as a group. We take all of the foods that are that people are highly sensitive to. We take those out of the diet for a few weeks, and then one at a time, you put them back in to see how you're reacting. And if you notice that you're having a reaction, then that's something that you need to investigate further to see if it really is a problem for you. So I wasn't willing to, what I did was I had taken gluten out of my diet for so long. And then one day somebody was like, why don't you get a diagnosis, go get checked? I'd have to start eating gluten all over again, get some symptoms in order for a doctor to say, oh, yeah, you got a problem. And I wasn't willing to do that for sure. What I did though was I stopped eating gluten for like 6 years, and I started again because I was like, let me just try this. And I think it was like maybe 5 years, and it bothered me, so I stopped and I waited another year or so. So it was like 6 or 7 years, and then y'all know Thanksgiving is the tastiest time of year, right? So I had my macaroni and cheese and my dressing. I was like, let me have a little bit of that. I ate a little of that. I think I ate a little pound cake and I was fine. I was like, oh, I could eat gluten again. But then after eating it like a few days or so, I started to have the same symptoms again, particularly the mucus. That's the main one that's like a huge red flag for me. That's your red flag for what any food that you're eating if it's creating a lot of mucus in you. And if you ignore that, that's when the symptoms start to get louder and you end up with some kind of a disease, autoimmune disease, or some kind of intolerance, right? Um, so I'm looking at y'all's comments here. But anyway, yeah, Jerry. So that's what I did. A lot of times we need to be proactive in our own care. And that's what I did. I knew something was wrong. I knew, like, like I said, my memory was real jacked up, but when I got to the point where I just couldn't even get words out, I was like, good God Almighty. And so, like I said, all that has turned around. And no, I'm not willing to put enough gluten in my diet to get to that point again, just to get a label on it. So for me, I just, like I said, I'll eat sourdough bread because sourdough has been fermented. So it means that there's a less need for my body to break it down in order for me to be able to tolerate it. Okay. So anyway, as far as gluten, again, it's bread, it's cake, cookies, pie crust, anything made with wheat, anything made with flour, wheat flour, because there's all kind of gluten-free flours. Gluten is wheat. So your bread, your cookies, pasta, those are the things that I just don't fool with. I did do gluten-free. I've done gluten-free bread. I'll have that sometimes, but I don't have to have it. Um, I prefer sourdough actually. Um, I've done gluten-free pasta. I just do zucchini noodles. I just rather do that. I like them well enough. Okay. Hey, Willetta. Somebody said they needed to make a payment. I saw that. You will want to, let's see. Jackie, oh, you say you need to make your, okay. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you're saying you need to book the trip or what, but if you have any questions or issues with that, definitely email us, okay? You can email us at flylifetravel@gmail.com. All right. Or you can email us at hello@welldiva.com. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so if you're having any of those kind of symptoms, you can try to take gluten out. Gluten is one of the foods that a lot of people have issues with. I know people have issues with dairy. And to be honest with y'all, if you have issues with dairy, you probably have issues with gluten and don't know it. Okay. So you may want to try taking both of those out of your diet and see how you're feeling. So if you already know dairy's an issue, take that out. Why are you torturing yourself like that? Like, this is your health, right? This your one body. You ain't getting another one. So don't mess it up trying to eat some freaking ice cream. It's just not worth it. I used to be like that with donuts. Like, oh my God. Y'all ever look on YouTube for my Krispy Kreme testimonial? I tell y'all how I got Krispy Kreme shut down. Cause because I couldn't resist going in there. So I prayed about it. And next thing I know, the place was closed. So God answers prayers, right? Um, where did we stay in Cabo? We stayed at Nobu, Los Cabos. Very nice place. Very minimalist, very modern. It's only been open since 2019. Very expensive. Um, it's not near anything. Like if you just want to get away from everything, it's near the Hard Rock. That's it. When you leave there, you got to go about 40 minutes, 50 minutes to get to civilization. I mean, it's out there. We have stayed when we went with the group, we stayed in the Hilton, which gorgeous. Okay. Both of these places are beautiful. They're just in different locations. The Hilton is gorgeous, y'all. Like really, really nice. Um, Another time we stayed at the Marquise Los Cabos is the hands down the most gorgeous resort there. Okay. It's my understanding that the Marquise is now an all inclusive, which means the food probably ain't no good. Okay. I'm just gonna keep it real. If you don't care about the food, then go. But it's probably okay. It was really good food back in the day. But then the whole place got slammed by a hurricane and they had to rebuild the whole place. And it's now an all inclusive. Um, and it's just absolutely beautiful, the Marquise Los Cabos. But again, it is an all inclusive, so good luck with the food. And then also we have stayed at Secrets Los Cabos. It's an all inclusive. The food's actually pretty good, but I mean, after a while, it's an all inclusive. Like after a while, you're like, I just can't do this anymore. I need to get some real food somewhere else, something different. Everything we had at Nobu was good. I mean, let me think. Pretty much everything. I think everything was good. I'm trying to think with my husband, there was something he had he didn't care for that much. But the food was, I mean, we repeatedly had good meals and no. So if you're a real foodie, then yeah, go with one of the places that's not an all inclusive, which you probably already know that. But again, it is off the beaten path. If you want to get out and you want to get to the beach, is probably not the place. The water was just too rough. Um, we stay at the Hilton. I don't remember. I don't even think we went to the beach there because Cabo. A lot of times the water is just really rough there. So what else? Oh, Secrets. Secrets is more like for couples, but we went as a girls group. We had a good old time. It's a really, really gorgeous resort. All these places are just really, really beautiful. It doesn't matter which one. If you just want a place that's real comfortable and really gorgeous, luxurious, they're all beautiful. But if you're concerned about location, I would look them up and see, you know, if it has a swimmable beach. That's the issue in Cabo. So that's the difference. Because you're in Cancun, you got swimmable beaches all over the place in Cancun, right? But in Cabo, a lot of the resorts are not on a swimmable beach. There, you'll see the beach, you'll have the ocean view, but you can't get in the water. So if that's a concern, check into that before you book your place. All right, so we talked about what you're eating. So yeah, you want to just like definitely if you're noticing that, if you're suspecting that there's something you're eating that's triggering some kind of issue, pay attention. Don't ignore that because that's your body trying to tell you that you're making me sick, right? That's your first line of defense is like mucus. and then it becomes, indigestion, and it becomes memory loss or skin issues or joint problems. So many things can be reversed by what we're eating, but you got to get control of your palate. And a lot of people are like, I don't want to do no gluten-free or vegan diet, ain't gonna taste good. Well, that means you don't know how to cook, sis. That means you need to learn how to cook, because guess what? Meat, if you don't put no seasoning on it and you don't put the right temperature on it, it ain't gonna taste no good either, right? So if you know how to cook a steak and make it taste good, you know how to cook a piece of tofu and make it taste good, because they both require that you get that pan hot enough to get that char on there if that's what you want, right? Requires that you chop up some garlic and whatever herbs and spices and put on there. If you just eat your steak plain and boiled in water, then you shouldn't care no way, because you don't have no taste buds. But if your food has to taste good, I mean, anything can taste good with the right seasoning and the right cooking technique. So I don't want to hear that crap about, vegan food don't taste good, because you just haven't tried it right, if that's what you think. Okay. I'm just clicking on y'all's comments here. All right. So yeah. And then what you're drinking. I had a lot of drinks in Cabo. I got that all out my system. Y'all know I like my wine. I've been doing pretty good at home. I switched over to white wine because y'all told me that red wine was giving me all them hot flashes, and you were right. You were right. So I switched to white wine, even though I really like red wine because it's not, it's healthier, right? It's supposed to be healthier, but it wasn't for me because it was giving me heck of hot flashes. And another thing I noticed, corn was giving me hot flashes, so I don't really eat corn popcorn like I used to. Okay. So water. So I'm gonna be working on drinking more water. Y'all, let's drink our water, ladies. I told y'all about the Water Minder app. If you don't have that, put that on your phone. It's water. The Waterminder app helps you to, it reminds you and it keeps track of how much water you're drinking. And I noticed my watch, the Apple Watch, that thing is smart. It popped up and said, I noticed you're not drinking. When I got to Cabo, it was real hot, we were busy. It said something like, I noticed you're not drinking as much water as you usually do by this time of day. You're going to be dehydrated, girl. I was like, whoa, smart. So that's something else. So yeah, but I think that was also through the Waterminder app. So get that if you're having any issues with making sure you're drinking your water. I know I have to use it and it just dings all day long. Did you drink your water? And then also your mental health, ladies. Ladies, have y'all noticed we've been hearing more and more about mental health, especially since the pandemic? And I'm glad we are. We need it because everybody got something going on. Everybody need to get it taken care of, but don't nobody want to admit it. Don't nobody want to do the work and all that drama. So use these last 3 months to do something healthy for your mind. Okay, get a book. I do audiobooks. I am constantly keeping audiobooks going on my phone, watching somebody on YouTube. Like I'm just, I'm all about healing and growth and not staying the same, but just constantly moving forward. It will help you feel better and it will certainly help the people in your life feel better. Okay. Nobody wants to deal with your toxic mess. So find you a good book. Find you a way to de-stress. For me, I like to cook. That helps me to de-stress. I turn on some music. I have a glass of white wine. Cook a lovely meal. That just helps me to de-stress, or go for a walk. Whatever you can do, exercise, yoga, but do something to and I'm always telling you guys to clean up your timeline. And I've been really doing that with Instagram, because at one point I had followed all these people that were making cupcakes because I was starting to practice making these beautiful flowers. I had to go back and get all that off my timeline because, like, y'all just making me want to eat cupcakes. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. I don't know who that is, but hey. So yeah, clean up your timeline, you guys. Don't let people who some people love to be the bearer of bad news, right? Don't follow them. Like you could be friends and just don't have to follow them. You don't have to see everything that they post. Some people want to watch the news and post who shot who in a whole nother state. Why do you care? Why is that something that you need to put in your spirit and be caring about? They ain't none of your business. Okay. Not to say that we just don't care about people, but you can't that becomes a burden for you to be um to keep track of every crime in every city across America. That's just not what you need. And if you still watching the local news, trying to say, well, I need to know what's going on. What did you find out this morning that was going on that really is helping your day? Probably not crap. So stop it. Denise, hey Denise, how are you? So yeah, so clean up your media, clean your timeline, watch what you're watching. Everybody's watching Jeffrey Dahmer. Go ahead and get that out y'all system. Why if you want to watch it, but I don't know what good it's doing you. My daughter's watching that. I'm like, go ahead, because you wasn't around back then. We watched some of the trials. We kind of know, we know what happened back then. We know how this ends. But but yeah, just watch what you're putting in your spirit. Okay. And you're putting it in whether you're watching it, you're hearing it, or you're speaking it. You're putting it into your own spirit. So watch your words, your thoughts. Watch the company you keep. And this last 3 months of the year. Some people you need to cut out of your life. This is the time to do it. Don't take them into 2023. Like if they didn't do you no good this year, why are you taking them into the next year? You wanna end strong and you want to start the next new year fresh and new, right? You do not want to take no junk into the new year. So some people you just need to cut off. Some people you need to write a letter, tell them how you feel, and then cut them off. Some people you just need to block and delete and cut them off that way. Some people you may need to meet face to face and tell them this is the last time we're going to talk. I don't know. Do what you got to do. Take care of you. Take care of you because you only have one you and you care more about you than anybody does, no matter what they tell you. You care more about you. So prove it. Care about you. Protect yourself from negative crap. Okay. Because it's only going to make you sick. Like if you got a whole bunch of ailments and illnesses going on, a lot of it you can reverse, a lot of it you allowed. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You allowed it. A lot of it you have allowed. So guard your heart. Okay. Anyway, so those are the things I wanted to just talk about today and put out there. Y'all so quiet though. Are y'all listening? I see 18 people sitting up here, but y'all ain't saying that. What you got? Anything? Any comments? Anything you want to say? Just say what you gotta say. Okay. And I mentioned, guarding your heart, your spiritual practice. Maybe you want to restart that or reboot that. Here we are at the end of the year. You ain't even said hi to God all year. I don't know, but whatever your spiritual practice is in this last quarter, get it going again. Whether you need to pray, meditate, go back to church, read the word, uh, light some sage, burn some candles, whatever it is. October 1 is coming. It's the beginning of the end of the year. Make that the day that you start doing something again for yourself. Okay. All right. I think that's about it, y'all. Oh, yeah. T says, yep. Amen. Guard your heart. Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. We got to set boundaries. It's okay to say no. One thing I always tell my daughter, your schoolwork is your schoolwork. Don't nobody else give a crap if you get it done. So when people are inviting you to do and this and that and this and that, they don't care that you have work to do. You got to set up your own boundaries and say, I can't do this, because they're going to always be pulling at you for your time and your attention. You have to set up your own boundaries. And that goes for us when we have projects and goals and whatnot. I remember when I was living in Atlanta, one of my friends, Charlotte, I don't know if she's watching this, but I remember Charlotte was like, "Oh, I'm getting a house. I can't go to lunch. I'm getting a house. I can't go out to eat. I'm getting a lunch. I can't go get some ice cream." And I was like, "Dang, you can't even go get no ice cream? I mean, goodness, girl, it's like $1.20." Charlotte was on a mission, and Charlotte got that house, honey. So I respect that. That was her boundary that she was setting, and we have to do that. Amen. Duchess, yes, boundaries, setting those boundaries, enforcing those boundaries. That's something that we didn't have that in my house growing up. So I've had a really hard time learning to set and enforce boundaries, because in my house, it was like my mom, she was like, it's what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. And, I share everything and you share everything. And that was just how we related. So I just had to learn that, no, wait a minute, hold up. If I don't want to, share this, it's mine and it's okay. And if you don't want to share it, it's yours, it's okay. I had to learn that, because I didn't grow up with that. My mom's old school from Arkansas back in the she was born in the 30s. So, real old school. So back when, kids didn't have like kids couldn't really express their opinion, because then it's considered being smart and talking back and all that. So I had to relearn all that toxic mess that, they thought they meant well. But, we have to be the ones to break those generational curses in our families, especially those of us who are mothers. We have to, make sure that stops and we learn something new and treat our families something new. So, yeah, boundaries. Ooh, yeah, that's a huge one. There's a book, there's a couple of books. There's one called, I think it's called Boundaries in Marriage. And then there's another one called Boundaries with Children. There might be even more, but those are two that I remember. And they're really good books if that's something you want to look into. Did we see GMA this morning? No, but you did, so you can share, because I don't look at the news, like I said, but I always know if there's something I need to know, somebody is going to share it. So you are welcome to tell me. You have my phone number. You are more than welcome to call me and share that with me if it's something you feel like I need to know, because we going, but we not going right now. So, but if it's something you think that I need to know, definitely, Tori, you're more than welcome to share it with me. You can call me. Okay. As for anybody else, it was on GMA. Y'all want to go look at it on YouTube, you're welcome to look that up if you're planning to go to Ghana, uh, anytime soon. Maybe it will be some information that you need. Thank you, Tori, for that. All right, ladies. And as far as travel, we are going to, I have a couple of wellness retreats coming up. My VIP ladies, I got a real special something coming up for y'all. So keep an eye out on your email. VIP ladies, you already know who you are. If you don't know about that, then you are not in the VIP group. I am very sorry for you, but we we have a small group of VIP ladies. Y'all know y'all are. So keep an eye out for the email about the very, 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 very special thing that I cannot wait to share with you. Um, um, Jerry says yes. Jerry's going on the Maui wellness experience. And I was just going to say, I'm doing a few wellness retreats next year. You want to know how many are going? I think there's like 8 or 10 of us going to Maui, Jerry. Anyone else want to join us? You are welcome to join us. Y'all, whoever goes with us for the February Maui experience. Actually, I don't know if we even have any room for anymore. We might. If you click on a link, if Gina, if you're here, you want to share the link. If you click the link and you can get in, fine, that's great. If not, email us if you're interested in us seeing if we can get more people in. It's a very small, intimate group. Like I said, it might be 8 or 10. But ladies, I can't really tell you everything, but it's gonna be an amazing experience in February in Maui, February 1 through 6, 2023. You will see those of you who were blessed enough to have secured a spot. You are going to be. You're gonna be blessed. That's all I really can say right now. Okay. Um, T is going to Maui. It is T's birthday while we are there, so that's going to be wonderful. Also, okay. So yeah, so the Maui experience. Just wish I could say more, but I'm just really, really excited about what's going to take place there. And then we have and that's me time on Maui. So mainly the theme is taking care of yourself, girl. Taking care of you, putting you first. Okay. Self care. Yeah, it's selfish. And what's the problem? That's what it is. That's what our main focus is gonna be is, how to just take care of yourself. Cause ain't nobody else, I don't care who they are, they can't take care of you like you. Okay. So so yeah, if you felt like, if you just feel like you need to focus more on taking care of you, setting your boundaries, doing something, special for yourself. You need to restore, you need to get away, you need to renew, revive. Then, yeah, you want to come on that Maui experience. Email us at hello@welldiva.com because apparently we are sold out, but Gina can check to see if she can get you in if you really want to join us. Please don't waste Gina's time. And if you're not serious about it, if you really want to go, she can send you the pricing. And if you still want her to go forward and get you a room, then let her know. But don't have her go get the room and then you like, well, we got time. Don't do that to us, okay? We setting our boundaries, okay? And then the other is Marrakesh, y'all. So if you want to, it's called the Divalicious Retreat. So if you want to just really, enjoy the luxurious side of Morocco, okay? Because we've done Morocco 3 times already. This will be our 4th trip, but this time we are going to Marrakesh. T is going on that one too because T is practicing much self love. I don't blame you, T. Karen is, I think Karen, yeah, Karen. T, you are going to Marrakesh, right? Don't here just running my mouth. I'm not sure. I know you said you wanted to go, but I know Karen is going with us. But Marrakesh is not until October. That's the Divalicious experience. That is when we're going to get to go and visit Janan Tamsna, the beautiful resort that is Black owned by Marianne Loom Martin. We have visited twice for dinner, but this will be our first time staying with her. It is in a very, remote area of Marrakesh. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first few days in the Medina where the action was popping, where you see, the snake charmers and the beautiful the beautiful Moroccan lanterns, and you can buy rugs and spices, and oh my God, where all of your senses will just be so stimulated, right? Just it's noisy, it's fun, it's vibrant. And then we're going to go over to the Palmyra region, and we're going to relax in the secluded and luxurious Jinan Times now. So it's the yin and the yang. It's two different parts of Marrakesh. We'll get to explore both sides, but it's all luxury. Okay. So, yeah, that's going to be a nice treat. And that's in October. And Gina has posted the link if you would like to take a look and if you'd like to join us, because we definitely have room for you on that one. Those are our two wellness experience for 2023. I think that's it. I believe. I believe that's it. We're not doing Sedona. We're doing Maui instead. We have openings for Greece. I don't know if we still have anything open for Egypt, but I know we have a few spaces. We definitely have spaces open for Greece. Gina may still be here if you are. Share that link for Greece. Greece is not a wellness retreat, but it's gonna be a good time. This will be our third time going to Greece. Okay, so I'm going way over time because I was planning on half an hour here. But anyway, ladies, I look forward to speaking to you on every day in October. I'm just going to go ahead and commit to getting on my phone and saying something that will empower, inspire, encourage, support you in the month of October. And if you would like to, share what you're doing and maybe you could get a partner, or you could just, just share, just to be accountable to what you want to do for yourself in October, whether it is, reach a new goal. For me, I'm not just working on movement, but I'm also cleaning up my finances. Like, that's just not something that I've just loved doing, taking care of my personal finances. But that's something that I'm working on the rest of this year, because I want to, do some different things next year. So whether it's financial wellness, mental wellness, spiritual wellness, physical wellness, whatever wellness you are working towards, I am here to support you. The group is Diva. No, it's facebook.com/Black Women Detox. If you'd like to join that group and just share what you're working towards, and get support in that group as well. Okay. Am I doing something in Napa? Girl, oof, y'all stress me out every time y'all ask me about Napa. I'm not going to lie. We keep talking about it, and we may do it because a lot of people have asked, but I don't think it's going to be a wellness retreat just because Napa is unnecessarily expensive. So I would do whatever I can to bring the cost down on that. So it would be more like, okay, we're going to take a girls' trip to Napa, do some wine tasting, as opposed to like I've done in the past, the wellness component, because then that brings the price up. So we may still do that. We may still do it. Yeah, we may do it, Duchess. I'm not going to say yes or no at this point, okay? Gina, is that you laughing about Napa? And y'all know Napa is my favorite place to go. It really is one of my favorites. But when it comes time to book hotels and stuff, because I like to go and drive on back home. But when it comes to booking hotels out there, Gina, and some y'all that don't live here in California, y'all, oh my God, Napa, it's $700 a night. Yes, ma'am. It's ridiculous for a decent hotel in Napa. So that's why I just cringe every time y'all ask about Napa. Now, Duchess, we could do a day trip. For those of us who live in the Bay Area, we can all get together because I'm down for going out there for wine tasting anytime you want to go. But for the ladies who don't live here, y'all want to go out there, y'all want a 5-star hotel, y'all don't know them 5 stars in Napa, they start at probably $800 a night. Just okay. So y'all need to be aware of that, so that when I take my time to put together that trip, and then you don't sign up because it costs too much, then that's when we're gonna have a problem, right? Because it's really expensive out there. So Yeah, you saw that and you looked it up. Who is that, Gina? And if it was 700 a night, then we got to go see what it looked like. It might be nice, it might not. It damn sure ain't gonna be worth no 700 a night, though. I know that. Okay, Jackie said, "Let's go." Jackie, are you in the Bay Area? Because we could do a day trip. But I don't think you are you? Okay, who is that down for a day trip to Napa? I don't know who that is. Well, Gina, it can't be you because you're not out here no more. Who's that down for a day trip to Napa? We could do that. I'm happy to do that. Oh, you're in the Jackie, you're in the you're in Southern Cal, so you would still need a hotel. Okay, Tamiko, hey girl. Girl, we supposed to be going to get some vegan food. Where you been? I thought you was still gone to Greece or wherever you been, or Canada or somewhere you went. Glad to have you back. And yes, we can do that day trip. So we can plan that, ladies. This is coming up on October. I'm going to be traveling a little, but maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it either in beginning of October or beginning of November, something like that. All right, ladies, I'm gonna get off here because I'm just running my mouth at this point. Okay, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm happy y'all showed up. We have been on here for 51 minutes, so we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. All right, Tamiko. Glad you had a good time. I saw some of your pictures, and that is self care, honey. All right, ladies, y'all take care, and don't forget to join me on Instagram .com/well diva. And starting on the 1st, I think that's Saturday. I don't even know, but starting on the 1st, I will be posting on Instagram about wellness. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye bye.